Over the span of 4 decades as a local official, Steve Johnson has officiated thousands of football, basketball, and baseball games here in mid-Michigan. Well, this summer, Johnson went from referee to competitor, not in a sport, but in a battle for his life. Here's Fox 66 Sports Director Tom Eschen.
You've probably heard Steve Johnson's whistle, or maybe you thought his strike zone was a little too wide. Maybe you played in a game he reffed in. Maybe your child did. Maybe even your grandchild did. But it's hard to miss his energy on the field, and even in his own backyard.
And then we come back up here, and then we have 4 holes, and we try to make 9 out of it.
Johnson started his homemade disc golf course last spring, constructing almost 4 holes by the month of June. Before he could finish the final hole, his life changed forever.
When she looked at that x-ray, she came out to me, and she just says, do you have a will? You know, and at that particular time, you know, my heart sunk. It just felt like somebody hit me with a sledgehammer about that time.
Diagnosed with small cell lung cancer, Johnson was given 2 months to live.
I started praying, you know, and basically the number one thing was, hey, you know, God, give me something that I can fight here.
A friend arranged a one-on-one meeting with well-known faith healer Dr. Izzo out of Ohio. The night before he was supposed to meet him, Dr. Namey asked for a picture of Johnson.
About the time that picture was reaching Dr. Namey, okay, I felt this warm water running in my chest, okay, and I had a royal blue shirt on, and all of a sudden my son goes, are you okay, Dad? You know, I looked over and he goes, man, you're sweating. You know, well, like I said, I was only sweating across here, and that was it. Rest of me was dry. But I felt that pulsation coming from my chest, like it was not waves coming in, it was waves going out. You know, and I looked at my wife, Terry, and I says, I think cancer just kind of like left my body.
A new diagnosis came in. Stage 4 diffuse large cell lymphoma. Still grim, but now a glimmer of hope. The chemotherapy took its toll. He was down to 114 pounds. But he kept fighting. He started gaining weight, and in September, back up to 140, and 3 months after his initial diagnosis, where they had asked if he had a will, now the cancer gone.
For me to hear those words, like, you know, after coming back from the PET scan saying, man, you're in full remission. You know, and I looked at the doctor and I goes, oh, come on, man. And he goes, no, Steve, he goes, we don't mess with stuff like that.
And 4 months later, the final piece of his disc golf course is complete.
All I had to do was put this one little piece of zip tie on here to finish it. But it took me 4 months to finish it.
Wow. Yeah. Later on tonight in sports, we're going to have more on what the local referees are doing to kind of help him out as he continues treatment. He had chemotherapy on Monday. Still has another treatment on October 31st, Halloween. That could be his last one, Bill.
Tell with the viewers the story you told us when you walked in the studio when you were going up to do the interview.
I mean, you always expect when you go to these things, you don't know how he's going to be considering how grim his condition was. He came right out to the car. He was running out there, and it seemed like he had the energy that he's had before he was in that hospital bed. As you saw, it was pretty remarkable to see the energy he has after all that struggle these past few months.
Uplifting story.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dave. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, Dow and Carmen going at it tonight. Playoff implications on the line here in the Saginaw Valley League. A big game and something that, as we bring in now, Steve Johnson, who's done more than 4 decades of reffing around here. You know all about big games, Steve. Tonight, it's a special night for Steve as the refs around the region, Bay County, Genesee County, and Saginaw Valley League are donating their game checks to Steve as we told you last night, his miraculous recovery from cancer. Steve, what's it mean to, your crew's here tonight, man? What's it like?
Hey, man, I didn't even realize they were going to be here, to tell you the truth, all right? But when I showed up and saw him here, I was just elated. Yeah. And, it's just enough to make you it makes you want to cry is what makes you want to do. Yeah. Okay, but thank God, for them, and, thank God for sports, okay?
Right, yeah.
And
that's been your life.
That's been my life, yep, 40 good years of it, so.
Yeah. And you think about where you were at, 114 pounds not too long ago. What motivated you the most to get back out here and give all this energy that you have today, which is so infectious?
Well, number one was when I got that PET scan, okay? Yeah. And that PET scan said, hey, you're going down in the remission. You're in remission.
Well, on Friday, Berston Fieldhouse in Flint will get a brand new playground in just one day, thanks to the Make an Impact Foundation, the United Way, teaming up with Kaboom. There is so much history in that complex. Someone who saw that firsthand, NBA star and Michigan State great Morris Peterson. We sat down and spoke about his memories of Berston Fieldhouse. How old were you when you first saw Berston Fieldhouse, when you first started going there?
Man, I've been going to Berston ever since I can remember. A place where we go and have a safe haven.
What did it look like to you, when you were a kid? You know, what did you see when you saw Berston? You know, because it probably looks a little different now, right?
You know, I was in the gym most of the time, and the gym was real small. Had a stage behind it, and so that's where I think. You know, I kind of developed that mentality at Berston.
You know, what do you think of it today? You know, how has it changed in your mind, I guess? Has it changed in your mind?
You know, looking at a place like Berston, you know, like I said.
With that, I bring in a sergeant himself. Philip Jacoby joins me now live. They're helping sponsor the Great American Rivalry Series. Why did Durant and Byron get this game to be part of this pretty cool thing here tonight?
Well, they were already a natural rivalry, and the fact that they're taking all that money that they could donate to the high school and giving it to the veterans really means a lot. What
do you think of this atmosphere tonight? You see veterans out here having a little dinner. You see I see some people come up and thank you. What do you think about this? How does this make you feel?
It's really humbling, to be honest, to see the community totally come together around the veterans and really do something like this. It's absolutely phenomenal, so it's really humbling.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Sergeant. Thank you for your service. You can see behind us the players going by. You see the jerseys for Durant. Pretty cool thing tonight. This is one of several games we'll have for you later on tonight on Friday Night Football. You can take a look at them right now. Lake Fenton and Corunna are going at it. That should be a good one. Freeland, Swan Valley, Davison, Lapeer. Just a few of the many games, as well as Alma and Carleton, we'll have for you later on tonight on Friday Night Football on Fox 66 and right here on NBC 25. Reporting live here from Durand, I'm Tom Eschen, NBC 25 News at 6. We'll be right back. But it's also Coach Joe Delaney's first game coaching Grand Blanc here, retiring at the end of the season. We've already heard from him a couple times in our special and earlier this week, so we're in the stands for a reason tonight. We bring in now Donna Delaney, Coach's wife. Mrs. Delaney, if I may, what's it been like watching him for these 3 decades or so, just being in the stands watching?
It's always a little nerve-wracking.
Talking off camera quickly here, when you first met him, what was he coaching? How many sports?
He was coaching 2 baseball, 2 basketball, and 2 football teams.
So what exactly was a date, I guess, when you were going out?
That was usually me sitting in the stands watching him coach.
Any good memories you have over the course of the years of him coaching?
The one that comes to mind the most is when he broke his ankle and was in a cast, and I was 8 months pregnant, so that was an interesting season.
I'm sure it was. You probably were, hobbling around, both of you, right?
Right.
Sympathy pains bring it to a whole new level.
Right. Yep. I said, I'll have this baby before you get that cast off, and I won.
I like the competitiveness. What now, I guess? What happens now that he retires?
Well, it's kind of bittersweet. We're going to miss the football. It's been our life for the last 32 years.
A little about the cars. So that's a thing he has. That's a thing you have, too.
Well, he's got a 1930 Essex that his grandfather bought brand new in 1920 57 Metropolitan.
Sounds like you'll be pretty busy, right, after he's done?
Looking forward to having some fun.
Yes, and not being near a field 24/7.
Correct.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Donna.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so this isn't the only game we have tonight. That was a fun interview. That was one of my favorite ones I've done. Let's look at some of the other games we have. We have Lapeer taking on Clarkson. That game's in the big house tonight, so we'll bring you that pretty cool atmosphere at Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Some other games, Ubley, Unionville-Sebewaing going at it. We have the battle for the paddle, Bull Creek and Sanford Meridian. So make sure to tune in later on tonight on NBC 25 and Fox 66 for our Friday Night Football show. Second straight night of Friday Night Football. Pretty fun start to the season here on NBC 25. Reporting live here from Grand Blanc, I'm Tom Eschen. NBC 25 News at 6. We'll be right back. Tonight we go to Saginaw, where one athlete is making family his priority. Algevon Eichelberger left Saginaw High 2 years ago to play the best competition possible at prep school in California. He had planned to do the same at La Lumiere Academy, another prep school in Indiana, this year, but came back home to be with his grandfather, Vani, who has cancer. Here's his story. It's rare not to see a smile on Algevon Eichelberger's face on the basketball court. But that's nothing compared to the joy he's brought his grandfather these past few weeks.
I think I have. Every time I see him, hey, grandson, how you doing? So, it brightens his day. I love going to see him. It's hilarious.
Vani Eichelberger was diagnosed with colon cancer last year. He also has signs of dementia. Now, after his condition got worse a few months ago, Al knew what his priority was: family.
I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't be going all over the places, playing and stuff like that. So family is everything to me.
That foundation of hard work got him more than a dozen Division I scholarship offers, signing with Depaul University, where he'll play next season. In the meantime, he's back on the Saginaw High floor. And while the circumstances aren't ideal, he's using it as an opportunity to grow as a leader, setting an example of how to play and live.
He does great in school, in classwork, and he's a role model off the court. So, you know, that presence there is just awesome for our team.
His coach, Julian Taylor, had a brother pass away from cancer a few years ago. It's an unfortunate bond they have in seeing a loved one suffer, but in both basketball and Coach Taylor, Algevon has support in Saginaw.
We had a discussion. You know, I told him just keep God first and keep praying, and you know, good, you know, things. See him through this. You know, God will see him through, you know, these circumstances right now.
When you walk into the Saginaw High gym, you might notice some jerseys on the wall, retired numbers, and one of those being Draymond Green, the Michigan State alum, the Golden State Warrior, NBA champion, and even Draymond has noticed Al's impact on the Saginaw community and on the basketball world.
Yeah, I keep in touch with a lot of the young guys. I actually saw that Algevon was going to Depaul, and I'm happy for him, you know, because he's definitely worked and, you know, continued to get better and better. And it's exciting to see anyone from Saginaw, you know, have the success that he's having and, you know, having a promising future.
It's super cool, you know. That's one of the people that I look at, you know, a lot of people around here look up to me, also look up to, because he's been here. He was in our spot. You know, he went to Saginaw High, and he went to college, now he's where he is with the Warriors. It's great having somebody to look up to, and like they actually know you and stuff like that. That makes it even better.
He's motivated to get to the NBA. He's motivated by his work in the classroom, but his most important motivation is the reason he's here in Saginaw.
I'm motivated, just my family. Just to go out there and just support and just like put out the Eichelberger name as much as I can and just make my family proud, yeah.
And when he puts on that Saginaw jersey once again on Thursday night, he'll finally be home. Just another important step on Algevon Eichelberger's path to greatness.